What's up, guys? Hey, so I'm here to talk about the rise and fall of Jett Lawrence. And then he rose again. This kid had a special and weird 2024. So I'm going to break down all of his ups, downs, and rate his year as a whole. This show is presented by Nano-Extreme. If you haven't tried this pain cream and you have arthritis in a knee, ankle, or if you just have an injury and you want to help heal faster, this will absolutely help you. It helps get the inflammation out of there to promote your body's natural healing capabilities. So hit up Nano-Extreme, use code COOKSY at checkout, and then put 2 of them in your cart. And then what will happen is when you check out and you use code COOKSY, one of those is for free. And if you want the best workout hydration drink, head over to the Coach Rob store, check out his Energy Fuel. He has a sweat rate calculator. You download that, figure out your sweat rate, and they produce a formula specific to your sweat rate. So check that out at the Coach Rob store and get his drink. It's called Energy Fuel. Next week, I will be in Vancouver for the World Supercross. I'm so excited. This format is something special. They're doing the typical 3 motos, or GPs as they call them, and they're going to take the top 8 250s and the top 8 450s and have a super final with 250s and 450s, and it counts towards the overall. Is really cool. I love how they're treating the 250 class not like a feeder class and just like 2 premier classes. You got 250 premier and 450 premier. I think they're really onto something here. I love it and I can't wait to see it. And I will be doing live streams and whatever I can. As long as I get enough Wi-Fi up there, I will bring you lots of content from Vancouver next week. And a lot of you guys know my YouTube has been under attack. So I'll tell you exactly what they've been doing. What they've been doing is they've been trying to hit me with these frivolous copyright claims. For example, Vital MX, yes, subsidiary of Racer X and one of the pawns and a real piece of crap that runs it, Michael Lindsay, hit me with a copyright claim. Shocker, the weekend of SMX. What that does is it's a fake claim. The piece that he got me with, other YouTube channels used the same clip and commented just as I did, but I was the only one that got a copyright strike. I wonder why that is. First off, it's illegal. Second off, I will win this, but what it does in the meantime is whenever you get a copyright strike, they slow down how many people go see your videos, they shadow ban you. It's a real pain in the ass. I had to hire a law firm to draft up a legal rebuttal to it. It's a pain in the ass, but I don't think I'm gonna lose the channel. But remember, head over to Make Motocross Great. That channel is Mike Grondal's channel, and if by chance I ever lose this one, I will go right over there. And I think this might have something to do with people getting unsubscribed too. I think when you get these complaints, they have some sort of algorithm. I don't know what it does, but people are still getting unsubscribed from this channel. Over 56% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if you're not, please click that subscribe. It definitely helps out. And you members, really appreciate you guys. And remember, you're all entered to win the Coach Rob custom painted helmet in December. Now let's get into Jett's wild 2024.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So Jett came into the 2024 Supercross season on the heels of his rookie undefeated outdoor season, the SMX title. I mean, he has just looked really good on that 450. This fits his style like something else. We've never seen a guy come into the 450 class in the outdoors and go undefeated. That's unheard of. That's a first ever. I don't know that that will ever be matched. But then again, I thought nobody would go undefeated, so who knows? But to do it as a rookie, you only get one chance at it, and that's gonna be a tough record to break. So press day at Anaheim 1. Everyone's talking about Jett. I mean, people are talking undefeated season, how great does he look? And he doesn't disappoint. He hits this quad that is just gigantic, and other people are like, what? He jumped what? So big that they decided to remove it because it was like, we can't have guys jumping this. This is too dangerous. Was it dangerous or I don't know. That's a debate for a different day. If they're really concerned about safety, they just get those tough blocks off there. But they took out that quad that he had hit, and I don't know, maybe it was to try and get it so he didn't have an unfair advantage. I don't know. Either way, he still won Anaheim, and it looked like he might have an undefeated Supercross season. And that was all the talk that whole week. We're like, oh, Jett undefeated, undefeated. And I think that's where the crowd started to kind of turn on him, and they've kind of had enough Jett shoved down their throat. And this happens to all the great riders when they have these dominant runs. Yes, we look back on that and we go, wow, this guy did all this stuff. But in the middle of it, it's kind of boring, and we want to watch the race not knowing who's going to win. And with Jett doing that, it kind of turned it to where, yeah, it was the Jett show. Round 2 was a quagmire up in San Francisco. Remember how muddy that was? And it was just a disaster. That ended all the undefeated talk. But nobody really was concerned because Jett, it was a quagmire. Did it really mean anything? Not much. Chase got his first win on the KTM, but nobody was worried about Jett. Then we go to San Diego, and this is where it got interesting. Jett had a bad night. It was a mud race, but it wasn't like it wasn't like the San Francisco quagmire. This was just a kind of a muddy track that just raced weird. Remember, he got into it with Jason Anderson, and this is where you see the crowd start to turn on him. And then his PR guys had that horrible kind of rebuttal that just pissed off Anderson even more and turned the crowd against him even more. That was a bad move. But you know what? I'm not gonna come down on him. Lucas Myrtle is one of the best in the business, and you make one mistake, big deal. So at A2, Jett's coming in after having 2 bad rounds, and this is a triple crown. He really needs something good. And man, that crowd booed him unmercifully during opening ceremonies. They booed him all night long. When he went down in the final race, when he was chasing Eli Tomac, the crowd cheered, and it was a bad crash. I was worried that he was hurt. I had to go back and watch the replay to see people actually cheering before they even knew if he was okay. That's how bad they disliked him at that round. It was wild to see people turn that much on Jett Lawrence. He went from just media darling to hated like that. But you don't mess with Jason Anderson in Southern California. That dude's popular out there. And if you're going to mess with him, yeah, they're going to turn on you in Anaheim. But Jett, being the true talent that he is, comes back in Detroit and wins. And I love the way he handled it. Going across the finish line, he goes like this, gives him a little shush. That was the best thing he could have done. There's people that are going to dislike him no matter what. If you apologize to them, you only give them more fodder for their cannon. What you need to do is just be yourself. Go out there, be great, and they can't do anything except, even if they don't like him, they have to say, yeah, I respect them. The real important race of the year was Daytona. Heading into this race, had Eli gone out there and won, or Jett had a bad round, this thing set up for a really good final half of the season. He did not. Jett went out there and just smashed Eli. That was beast mode Eli, and Jett went out there and just took it to him. That was one of the best performances I've ever seen by a rider versus another rider who, Eli's Mr. Daytona. Look how many times he's won that. Jett beat him straight up. Right then and there, I don't think anybody, if you polled anyone, I don't think anyone would say, oh yeah, Jett's not going to win this chance. He was 100% the favorite at that point. There was no, oh, Eli's coming back, Cooper's coming, Chase will get it going. It was Jett's season at that point. He followed that up with 2 more wins, one in Birmingham, one in Indianapolis. He looked to have a win in Seattle. He had caught Cooper Webb from way behind and was right on him, and he made that big mistake. But that's when you first saw championship Jett. He went, you know what? Let's not do anything stupid. Let's ride it in for a 3rd place. And it looked like he was like, okay, this is a mature Jett that's going to ride it in, win the title. He understands what's on the line. He's not going to try and win every single race all the time. But they went to the Triple Crown the next week, and it got bad for Jett. Remember, he had that first moto where he lost to Eli, but it was close. Then the second moto, he wins, but he jumps on the red cross flag over the finish line. This was one of the dumbest things ever. Vince Friese was down. Yes, I know Vince Friese is always involved somehow in all controversies. That's just how it is with Vince. Vince is down. There's a red cross flag out. They hold that thing out there for the entire field when nobody was on the track or in the way. It was really stupid. They had to penalize like 10 guys. It was ridiculous. But Jett took his penalty, and he came out in the 3rd moto, and he had to win and hope something happened to Eli to get the overall. There was a lot of pressure on him, and he wanted this win really bad after coming off of Seattle where he got 3rd. That 3rd moto, he got a bad start, and he was trying to cut through that field on the first lap and just chopped. And remember, Barsha was protecting the inside from, you guessed it, Vince Friese, and they crossed lines, and Barsha clobbered him so badly it looked like Jett was injured. I have no idea how he wasn't injured. That was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen that was almost a head-on collision. I mean, he got nailed. But he got back up, rode around, and luckily it was a Triple Crown, so he only ended up in 9th place. He didn't have this horrible finish. He didn't get 20th. He didn't get no points. This was a Triple Crown, so he still got 9th place. So it didn't hurt him as bad in the points as it could have if it was a regular round. So he's clearly injured heading into Foxborough, but he rides through it, gets a 5th place, but he's getting healthier. You can see it, and now he's going to make a run. That's where he took control of the series, winning 3 of the last 4 rounds and essentially ending the championship talk. He became the guy. Heading into Salt Lake, it wasn't clinched, but it wasn't real close. All he needed was like a 12th place finish or something. It was over when they got to Salt Lake, but there was an interesting moment. Hunter got into it with Jason Anderson. Yeah, same Jason Anderson from San Diego. When you go against the Lawrences, you hurt one brother, you hurt the other. Jett goes after him. Jett slams Anderson. It's like, what are you doing? All you have to do is ride around, not have an incident, and you win this title. And he slammed Anderson. Then he made a mistake. Anderson got by, and I think he realized, oh my God, what did I do? Well, don't do that. Just get through today. We can handle Anderson another day. And he wins the Supercross championship. And this was brutal. This series took a lot out of Jett. You could see it emotionally, physically, fighting through injuries, fighting through, emotions as far as fans loving him, fans hating him. It's the first time in his career that I think he's been unmercifully booed. Almost guarantee it's the first time people cheered when he crashed. That's something that he had to deal with. And you can say what you want about him not paying attention. Those things affect the psyche no matter what. But he got through it all. But you could see when they got to Paula in the outdoors, he was a little bit spent. Hey guys, check out Epic Garage Designs. Travis Ogburn has the coolest garage designs, trailer designs. Get cabinets, slat wall, flooring, and I hear he does blinds too if you want to go to epicblinds.com. Travis is a motocross enthusiast and he has some cool stuff for you, so check that out. Check out Ride Strapped. You get your goggles, glasses, get your red pill shirts. Chris has some of the coolest stuff. He will be with me at Vancouver if you want to come check it out. He's a good dude. He loves this sport and what it brings to people and families. So check out Ride Strapped if you want to support a cool company. Precision Transport. Speaking of family-owned companies, Precision Transport cares about their customers. They truly do. They're a shipping company that gives you tracking numbers, reasonable pricing, and customer service. So support the Madden family and hit up pretransport.com. So after this long Supercross season where Jett has ups, downs, rides through injuries, deals with fans booing and cheering and all sorts of drama, he was clearly, after that, the undefeated season, SMX, he hadn't really had a chance to take a break, and it was starting to wear on him. You could see it at Paula. He won, but he was not the same guy that he was a year ago. He didn't have that spark. Chase reeled him in, and for the first time, I think Chase actually really could have almost beat him at Hangtown, or at Paula. And then at Hangtown, Jett looked good again. He looked like that invincible guy, but he was totally not invincible. Huge crash on the first lap, and that ended his season. It didn't right there because he finished out the race, finished out the second moto, continued on, but they called it after Southwick. Southwick is, I think, where the Lawrence family and the people around them realized, hey, he needs a break. He needs a rest. He's got multiple injuries, the mental fatigue. Are we putting him at more risk, putting him back out there? In that second moto, Chase handled him. He didn't get the overall, Chase didn't, but he handled Jett in that second moto, and you could feel the momentum shift. Now, whether you believe it was a thumb injury or not, I don't know. I've heard different things. Either way, it was a timely injury that gave Jett a break. So this essentially ended his outdoor season. Whether it was the thumb injury or they just decided to shut it down, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why. It was the right decision no matter how you spin it. He got some weeks off. He got to recuperate. And he got to just take a breath. That's something he really hadn't done since he moved to the 450. And if you remember, he was right off of a Supercross championship in the 250 class. So he hasn't had a chance to really take a breath until then. The question was he healthy when he headed into SMX? Well, he answered that at the first round by winning. Then he had a really bad second round, and it set up a winner-take-all finale in Las Vegas. But true to Jett's fashion, he is the fastest guy and the best guy. And whenever the chips are on the line like that, he has that talent that he can dig down. Unfortunately, Chase had that incident on the first lap where he got landed on, which I think was his fault. But, things happen. It's a crazy sport, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Jett went there to win. I know his brother had a shot at the title, and if he had lost, he would just as soon lose it to his brother, but he wasn't going to hand it to his brother. And, while he was happy that he won, I do think it didn't, Hunter didn't win the outdoor title when he stepped away, which they had really hoped that with Jett stepping away that Hunter would get the title. So I think that weighed on him just a little bit. But I think it helped when they went to the designations. Yes, Jett got beat straight up by Tim Geiser, but Australia got their first win. What a great feeling for Lawrence's, Kyle Webster, for Australia in general. Going into 2025, Jett. He's the favorite in every single series that he enters. Absolutely, bar none. Jett is your favorite whenever he lines up. Until I see otherwise, he's your guy. I don't see him going undefeated. He could, but I don't see that happening. He's too smart. He knows when to back it off when he needs to. It's about championships. It's about the big picture. Jett understands that. His racecraft and intelligence, other than that one incident with Anderson, he is really, really good, smart, and thinks way ahead. And as he gets older, that's only going to get better. And my question going into 2025 is just Supercross. If he's going to get beat, who's going to beat him? Do you think Chase has what it takes to beat him? Possibly, but I don't know. Then you got Tomac. Let's see how Tomac looks at World Supercross. Him and Roxon are going to World Supercross, and I think Tomac needs these extra gate drops, and he's fired up, and he wants to win really bad, and I haven't seen Tomac this hungry since he was younger when he first went onto the 450. Tomac looks like a young guy out there, even though he's 30-something. He is a guy that could challenge Jett. I just don't see it happening. I just think Jett's too good right now, but Tomac won't let him off the hook easily. Jett won 2 out of 3 championships in 2024. He only lost the outdoor championship, which he went undefeated in last year. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of a 10 because the only way to get a 10 out of a 10 is to win all 3 championships. And he didn't do that, but dang, he had a good season. He got a Supercross championship, got the Destinations championship, got the second SMX championship. The dude is something special, and I can't wait to see what he brings in 2025. All right, guys, here is your member of the day. Thank you to all the members. I really appreciate it. It helps me when I fight these stupid copyright claims and all the little garbage that they're trying to do to silence me. So thank you, members. I appreciate it. What rider do you want me to feature next in this kind of recap and preview series? I'm thinking Chase Sexton, but let me know. If I get enough people asking for a different guy, I'll switch. Thanks, guys. Later.